I just want to make a video real quick. God knows how hard it is for me to uh, keep going to church, basically. He knows how hard it is for me to do that. But I'm doing it. I'm still making the effort to go to Christian church because I feel like he wants me there, because, I feel his love, like especially today, you know. So if I feel his love at a location, he wants me there, So, um, but of course, I showed up a little late, but it's all right. But when I got there, the pastor was talking about no matter what the decisions of my father and my grandfather, down the line, um, I'm still not excluded from God's promises because of their decisions and stuff. You know what I mean? They're bullshit, basically. And that stuck out. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm not condemned because of their decisions and their choices, And I think that's what God was trying to tell me. Yeah, that is what he's trying to tell me. But something powerful happened after that. Very powerful. The prodigal son got brought up, of course, And of course, when I hear about the prodigal son, it hits me because that's what I am. I'm the prodigal son, 100%. Trying to come back to God, the Father, trying to, and God knows it. And he was talking about um, when the son when the prodigal son was in view of the Father. Even now, I'm feeling emotional. The Father sees the Son, and comes running to the Son, the prodigal son, and he fully embraces him. And doesn't care what the prodigal son did in his life. And I could feel God the Father embracing me with his full love as well, like a full embracement. I felt it when I was standing in the Christian church, as if he ran to me from his house, basically, and I'm in the field. He sees me coming back. He comes to me. So I don't care who makes fun of me. I felt it. But like I said, it's been a long walk back to the Father. It's been a long walk back, with Jesus, basically walking me back. And I feel like, I finally got to the Father, like really got to him, really finally feel like, because this is key as well that I realized today. The Father's love is different than Jesus's love. It feels different. So when I was being embraced, the love was totally different, you know, in a good way. But it was like the Father's love, not Jesus's love, because I felt Jesus's love, you know, and that's strong. But the Father's love seemed like it was different, stronger, felt different. So it really felt like the Father, you know, my actual real Father, God, embracing me, not Jesus, the Father. And that's how I felt, 100%. You know, that's how I felt. So I feel like I'm doing what He wants me to do. You know, walk the road He wants me to walk. Even though it's tough, and He knows it's tough for me. It's tough for me to be around people and befriend people, you know, like actually try to befriend people, like be friendly with people. He knows that's hard for me. It's super hard for me to do that. But I'm doing it. Like I went to lunch with some Christians today after church. You know, I'm trying. I'm making an effort. You know, God knows it. I really am. No matter how hard it is, I'm still doing it, you know. But yeah, but another thing they talked about a lot in church was like the power of unity, you know. It's better if there's 2 or 3 believers together than just one alone, you know, that all know the truth, you know. It's better to have, you know, because if one falls down, the other one can pick him up. If the other one falls down, you know, you can pick him up, you know, that kind of thing. And also the presence of God is there if there's 2 or 3 believers, you know, or you know what I mean, basically together. So that was kind of the message, was the unity thing. And I think God wanted me to hear that because He knows, like, I tend to just want to be a loner and just isolate, but I'm forcing myself not to be that. I really am. Being around people a lot, you know, forcing myself out of that, you know, isolation. And I feel like that's what God wants me to do, is force myself out of isolation. Get out of my mind, you know, get out and befriend people, basically, like I've been trying to do. Even if I think they're weird, you know, the way they pray is weird, you know, even if I think they're weird, you know, and I'm not used to it, like I'm still trying, basically. I'm putting that all aside, trying to befriend people anyways, you know, but, but, um, but yeah, that's pretty much the main things that were talked about. Even though sometimes I feel like the person up there, like the pastor, is just talking to feed his own ego, basically. Just, oh, look at me, look at me, look at, you know, like laugh, you know. But sometimes, like, he says something of value that I catch, you know. I'm like, okay, that's important, you know, basically. But like I said, like I said before, like I could never be a preacher, you know, never. I'd rather just talk to people one on one, not up in front of everybody, you know. I'd just rather talk to people one on one in the real world, you know. Maybe kind of like how Jesus wandered and talked to people one on one, like that. I'd rather do that. God knows it. You want to hear the gospel, I'll just talk to you one on one, you know. Or you want to learn about Jesus, one on one, you know. You want to learn about God, one on one, you know, not in front of people, not a scripted thing, making a show of it, you know, not doing all that, you know. And another thing was like, that was talked about, was like, don't let the fear tactics of the enemy affect me. So I got to remember that, because, you know, I have let it affect me, the fear tactics and stuff that the enemy throws at me. And God knows it. He knows I'm pushing through, though, you know, despite that. But anyways, that's all I want to say. This video is going to run out, but that was the main thing today, was just like, I felt the embrace of the Father strongly. Like, he saw me coming to his house and he came out. That's exactly the image, you know, and he embraced me fully, you know, as his, you know, his son that he missed, basically.